Hi all, welcome to another Chess 24 Banter Blitz. Just waiting for my preview to activate. Yep, okay, mute it over there. Okay, just to let you know, it's 15% off if you want to go premium and challenge me or other streamers. The code here, the voucher code here is shown. So Kingscrusher voucher code. And then I just take challenges in turn from the top usually. So we're going to go and take some challenges now. So a fellow crusher here. Hi there, morning. So I'm defending that e4 pawn and trying to play c3 to bishop b4. I don't want more pressure built up on e4 with this pin. If I played knight c3, I don't really. So I'm using a Tarrasch approach where knight d2 instead of knight c3, you know, like against the French defense, you play knight d2 to be able to answer bishop b4 with c3. This pinning move is not so effective here. Now I have played this pawn sack before, and it was a bit of a disaster game I had, losing a piece. I'm going to try and avoid the disaster aspect and just try and get the dynamic aspect going. So I think I was losing. Once lost the game with check and bishop takes c4. So I'm going to try and be a bit more careful here with bishop e3. So queen e7, bishop e3. Now we've had this position before. So I'm trying to learn from past games against my opponent here. So queen e7 I didn't think was a great move before. So I want to test this a bit further now, this position, this pawn sack, which I once used in one of the 2 British chess championships I played. I had a very happy game actually against someone whose pet system was this Owen's defense, this b6, and I prepared this line with engines before, Ribka at the time I think, and I thought it was quite good for white. Okay, let's see. So here I think d5 is a bit dodgy because there's that diagonal will be dangerous. I'm wondering if I can actually play check and knight d6 here to win that b7 bishop. This might be worth it. Yeah, that check was my downfall, I think, in one of our previous encounters, which we'll see from the match score. But here I think it's dangerous for black as well, this check. Now with knight d6 to win b7. Yeah, this is quite an opportunity. It'll be a shame if I'd missed it, actually, if this really is the opportunity I think it is. But I don't know if that knight is stranded after. It's possible, but I'm dislodging the king position. The knight is possibly stranded. There might be something even better here than knight takes b7, although with queen e4, okay, knight f6. There is bishop f4 there, hitting the queen, d6. I'm going a bit far ahead here. I'll just take this bishop and see what happens, is another approach. Because I have dislodged the king anyway. At worst, maybe knight a5 damages the pawn structure a bit. Let's see, actually. Knight takes, just for a moment, knight takes f7. King takes. Knight g5 check. Where would the king go? I think any king move, queen c4, there's d5. So let's just take this bishop to be simple here. Try and find a move in this position. So queen e4, knight f6. Right. I was checking out bishop f4 before. And d6. And then what? Don't want to use too much time. Any interesting alternative here? Yeah, queen e4, knight f6 is a nuisance. I could just try and develop some pieces with bishop g5 and castle queenside. I think I'm going to do that, just treat it as a pawn sack, because I don't even want to do that. That b file could be dangerous later. So let's just try this approach, just castling queenside. Now, if the queen's on the light square, there isn't a problem, I think, with the king on c1 here for this diagonal just yet. So if I castle queenside, I'm hoping this is a good position, basically, with enough compensation. That king just being displaced here might be enough compensation. Well, I would hope so, anyway, intuitively. No, knight c6, I'm not really convinced, actually. Knight c6, I think black might be okay. Is it possible? Well, I think knight c6 had knight d4 going for it for this rook. Now I can play... he's got queen e4 on the cards. Not so simple. I'm wondering g4 anyway. Yeah, I think queen e4, it's not so simple. Alright, now maybe this is okay. Knight d4. There's any trickery I've got here. He can try and use this pin on the bishop, maybe. Maybe I've got something stronger there. The knight takes d4. I really want to exploit this rook on h8. So if I can just play this, then I can think about knight e5 as well. Just if I had two moves, rook he1 and knight e5, or even maybe just knight e5 straight off the bat is dangerous, because then there's bishop takes and knight d7. Knight d4, rook d4, queen g2, knight... there's rook e1 there. I think with the king there, I think black's got some problems here. Okay, I think now black has got more vivid problems here with the pressure on e7. Probably I can play knight e5 here. hg knight c6, I'm on e7. I just want to target that e7 bishop. I seem to have got him to also spend some time, which is good in a blitz game. I'm not sure. Is it? I don't. I'm not trying to create empathy for the issues. I'm just thinking it is difficult for a moment, though. If I can take in the knight takes d7, knight c6 or rook d7. Hold on a sec. Rook d7, bishop c6. It's all looking pretty strong, but there's a forcing line with taking knight d7, knight f6, and queen e8 here, which is compelling me to play this now. Knight d7, knight f6, and queen e8. Okay. Alright, thanks for the game, Crusher. Okay. Autograph. Let's play knight c6 to start off with. Oh, hang on, that runs into knight e5. I think I've had this before. I looked this up. This is like a big mistake, potentially. I think knight f6 is much safer here. I actually looked this up. I was a bit wondering about a game a couple of weeks back. Yeah, I think knight takes e5 is a strong temporary piece sack there. Now here, it might still be working. Or is it? It might still be working. it might be safer just to pin that. I'm a bit wary about this. Knight e5, yeah. That actually seems to have done something useful then, to cause bishop d2. That seems to be, for me, a timid move. Bishop d2. If I can just keep the bishop on this diagonal, this is really what I wanted without any tactic like knight e5. I move the bishop on this diagonal and I can tuck it away on a7. Although bishop g5 could be a pain. Okay, I think I will stop bishop g5. Yeah, there's quite a few issues here to sort out. Alright, I'll try and preserve that for a moment. Then I have to try and protect e5, and then I can think about knight takes d5. Alright, he's weakening d4 a little bit. I just want to play knight takes, knight e7, knight g6, potentially. Although then that c-pawn, I know it's like there's a downside here, that c-pawn on the c-file. However, it might not be that exploitable. Maybe just, okay. I don't like that. I'll offer the exchange of bishop, try and weaken f4 a bit. I think f5, okay, bishop d7, just to be able to hold c7 if needed with rook c8. Or they can shift that out of the way, maybe then c6, then if rook c1, okay. It's possible that bishop e3 might be a decent move here, then c6 and queen b6. He's tempting it. Don't like this pressure on the queen side. Haven't got too many choices. It's possible c6 might be interesting. Because I really want him to take here to weaken that f4. If I take here, I'm strengthening control of key squares f4 and d4. With that pawn on e3, it's not such... I think it's more positive than negative, a pawn on e3. Now this knight c4 is dangerous. Alright, can I just take on d5? I think I will take on d5. Because knight f4 actually hits d5 pawn. The d5 pawn. Now with my loose rook, that's a tempo gaining target to be aware of. Now bishop b5 looks interesting. Although, yeah, knight c4 coming up. Okay, I'll play it for a moment anyway. I think with a4 coming up as well. If I played queen d7, there might be knight b6. I don't know, queen d8. I can try and stop a4, but there's knight b6. Maybe just queen d8 there. Okay, I'm tempted for this. Just to stop a4 for a moment. Although this is starting to look a bit strange. Right, can I not just play f5 here? This is a move I sort of want to play usually anyway. Now if I could just pin that knight, knight b6, rook c2, knight c7, rook c1, and then bishop d7. Okay, can I just pin that knight? Although, don't tell me there's some tactic. Now knight b6 is always a pain. e4 loses that. g5 is a bit radical. But there's knight b6 happening. What if I took on there? Or just queen d8 here. Maybe queen d8 provides queen g5 as a result, stops knight b6. Queen g5, knight h3 to win the queen. On bishop c4, removing the defender. That's a bit of a cheapo, perhaps. Queen g5. He just moves his king, and that's it. Okay. Maybe the better motive here is rook a8, just to connect the rooks. Alright. I will just connect the rooks and think about taking on c4 and queen g5. Right, queen g5 here threatens knight h3. He moves the king. Maybe knight d3 for bishop c4 after. No, queen d3. Knight h3 takes my queen. Alright, I think I'm going to go with this. In any case, I think there's some issues here. If he takes the knight h3, wins the queen. If he does king h1, I think knight h3. Okay. Alright. Alright, this knight takes d6 is on the cards, I assume. Okay, let's just go back for a moment there. Well, I think I might have made things worse. Actually, just king h1. I'm inviting king h1 here. Okay. Right, if I just take that c4 knight. Or there's rook d8. Okay, let's try rook d8. Keep some tension on the game. In the game. Rook d8. I don't want to play necessarily bishop c4. If I put the bishop here, a moment. We're getting into pre-move mode soon. It's going to be a bullet match soon. I've got knight h5. Alright, why? Why? Is that a pawn sack? Okay, can I do this? Okay. Distract. I think knight h5, knight g3 is interesting. Or just bring the knight back to f6. If I bring the knight back to f6, it seems more stable there. Alright, let's keep the frontal pressure minimized. Yeah, I don't want two rooks on the 7th. Alright, can I go for f4? Protecting e4 at the same time. f4 and then e3. Doesn't do anything, he just takes the queens off. So I'm a bit passive here. Okay, so what's the actual... What's the threat? Can I not just take here? Oh, hang on, I missed the threat, haven't I? 97. I just stumbled here. Knight e7 check wins the queen. I was asking what the threat is, but then I was looking at his clock and thinking, okay, can I not just play this and hope for the best? That was, to be honest, I didn't see that knight e7. Yeah, well played. It was a good position for white until that. Yeah, it was. I mean, yeah, I missed the threat there. I missed it. All right. So chilling forward, a mighty rating. So I think I was a bit lucky last week. Let's see King's Engine. Okay. So I remember one game with a nasty pin. I had a nasty pin in one game. Recently. I suppose this diagonal is going to be a torture diagonal. I'm wondering knight h5 to f4. Or can I play knight a6 and knight c5? Or just wait for that and then c5. But then, yeah, this d5 square is terrible. I could just try knight d7 then. He's always got, unfortunately, queen b4 after knight d7. Okay, it might be worth playing for knight c5 anyway because of knight d7. Knight fd7. So b5, knight c5, queen b4, knight fd7. As long as I don't have to play b6. I suppose there's always bishop f8. So does it matter? If I play bishop f8, just to free up the queen here. In any case. Oh, knight a4 is on the cards, I see. Okay, this could be start with something nasty. Knight a4, knight d7, and then queen f6, just to handle c5. I think over here it's not helping the c5 issue. So knight d7, I'm hoping queen f6 might be sufficient without having to play something like b6, which has got bc then. Right, so rook d7 immediately threatens. Can I play queen f6 to try and unpin here? Alright. Now, that is a loose piece there. Is that bishop a6 out of interest? Or just knight e6 for knight d4 later is kind of dramatic. The bishop's holding d7 here. So in fact, maybe knight e6 seems it might be playable. Hitting a3, bishop f8, knight f8, idea knight d4 or knight f4. The other knight can come later, maybe to e6. So knight f4, bishop g4. There is knight d4 here. Rook f6, knight c2. He's on that poor pawn there. C5, knight c3, knight d4. Maybe, okay, there's knight c5 there. Alright. Maybe I encourage this for bishop d7. G5, g4. That's more tempting. With the possibility of knight d4 later, about knight d4. So g4, knight moves. I unpin again with the idea of knight d4. So something like rook c6, queen g7 unpinning gives me g4 with the idea of knight d4. Then possibly knight e6, knight f4. Okay, let's unpin again, holding e5 in the process. Okay, here we go. Knight d4 coming up. Bishop d7's not that effective, I think. So I've got potentially, I could play knight g6 to f4. This is not a pawn he really wants to take with his king there. Oh, maybe he does want to take it now. Maybe he does. Okay. Is f5 my king too weak? It's possible my king is too weak. I think it is. Bishop h5. Oh, okay. For rook g6, that would be very bad. Okay. Oh, this doesn't look too good. Oh, there's queen h5. Okay. No, I think too weakening. Unless there's knight f4 on the cards here. Could this backfire on white? I don't know. No, I think just queen at f5. Okay, I can play this for a moment. And yeah, I'm losing pawns here. Can I go with this knight h3 idea? Well, there's rook b7, knight h3 for knight f2. There's rook f2, king e1. Well, I wouldn't say that's strange to allow. But does actually don't do anything. Might be doomed here. It's possible I'm doomed here. King at e1. Unless there's a move there. I'm running out of time as well. Wouldn't say there's a move here because there's queen h7. I have to look up this line. It's pretty dangerous overall. Yeah, I'm going to lose on time now. I think it's gone in this position. Yeah, I think I can't play the king's engine like that. Okay, well played. Okay, only lose 4 rating points because it's so high rated. Okay, thanks for the game, Shenning. Thanks for the lesson. Okay. Lay. Right. So bishop e2 on bishop g4. So c4 and d5, maybe. Can I take on a7 here? Oh, I lose e2. Okay. I could take on g4 first and take on a7. Maybe that's plausible because I'm on that rook, and then I can win b7. Don't know if I'm being too greedy there. I hope not. Taking a couple of pawns off here. I could take a couple of pawns off. Yeah, maybe. Wait, can I kick that? Now, if knight e5, maybe queen takes h5. If knight f6, maybe bishop d4 centralizes and threatens bishop f6. Just quickly glancing at rook h3, I don't think that's on here. Right, can I play f4 here, or is that terrible? Maybe just a4. Oh, he's got queen h3, I see. I see now. I see. So what about just king h1? Let's try not to get slaughtered. King h1. So unpin. The pawn g-pawn, unpin. Alright, what is the threat now? Can I bring this rook to defend with rook b3? I'm wondering. Okay, let's try defending a bit for a moment. Actually, rook e3 would be a nice pin as well. I don't think the rook was doing too much there. So rook e3, knight f2 check. I'm still holding that rook. Okay, it's scary now a little bit. What about rook f3? Just to guard f2. Okay. If I played rook g1 here. Okay, now can I defend, double defend with queen c2? That almost gives me a rook e3 if that's ever useful. Is c5 plausible here? C5. I'm hoping c5 is plausible. Well, I'm weakening d5 immediately. Yeah, let's keep this bishop on. That d5 pawn loss is a concern. But maybe rook g3, I'm on the attack, not back on the attack. I might be on the attack for the first time in the game with rook g3 because there's nice coordination. Knight d4, queen, no, knight d4. Okay, there's bishop f6, no there isn't. Right, is there queen b3 pinning that rook for a moment? And then there might be something good. Yeah, it's f6 is a bit suspect. Right, there's bishop f6 now because he's interrupted. f6. Right, and can I play for queen, rook g6? So threats, rook g6. I'm not sure. Does that address it? Because I don't know, king f8, otherwise he loses that. It's possible he's addressing it. It's possible. There's a check here though. Oh, hang on, then I win the queen. Okay. Just nudge the knight first, and then the knight's not protecting the queen. So that if I have a tactic involving queen h6, queen g7, I'm winning that queen. So let's imagine knight d4, rook g6, hg, queen g6, king f8. Oh, there's queen f5 here anyway. Let's play that. Alright, thanks for the game. Okay, let's go. So Mig. Let's try Caracal. Classic. Standard stuff. so far. I kept losing this line because the pawn on in the ending fell off recently in a marathon event. I kept losing the H pawn as white and losing endings. It's happened about 3 times. That can be a liability then in the end game, this pawn in this line. Can I play c5 here? Still got a bit of a thing from last week. Yeah. Pardon me. It could damage my pawn. Does he want to give up the dark squares? There's a trade-off there. It looks a little bit... I don't know, this bishop could be dangerous. Just thinking. I mean, immediately the check is also worth considering. And then, okay, if I took and then took on d5, I'd have a blockade on d6. I'd have a 3-2 pawn majority there. Alright, probably worth taking that. And then this. Now, if I go here, right, what pawn is immediately threatened here? Is this h6 dodgy? Can I play queen d6? He's got knight d2. It's going to have knight d2 to c4. Alright, I'll play this anyway for a moment. It's more central there. Knight d2 to c4. No, hang on. Right, it's going for my f7 at the moment. If I did this, he goes with a check or something. King c7, knight d2. Oh, he's simply trying to win the pawn there, or create a pass pawn. All right. If I took with this, I protect h6. Just about. If I took with this, then he's got a big pass pawn. It also undoubles, so if I can do this, maybe that's favourable. Actually, I think I want to play a6 and king a7. No, too late. Like d2, maybe I just snap it off. Or maybe queen d5, knight c4, queen c4, d7, check, and then the back row's weak. Alright, can I get in this position then where I have a longer option of king a7 sometimes? This knight d4 is a concern. Queen d5, knight c4, queen c4, queen d7. Okay, can I put the king over here for a moment? Now b5 might not be entirely terrible. just to hold the pawns a bit. King might not be terrible there. Right, so f4 might be immediately threatened to trap the bishop. I give up a pawn. I might have to give up a pawn and then bishop f6. Bishop f6, bishop d4, point at b2. Try and get my queen around to b2 after. So bishop f6, bishop d4. Probably lose h6 in the process. Yeah. So knight g4, knight h6. Okay, there's f6 coming up. I might have queen d5 at some point. He's got knight h6 immediately if he wants. What about rook e7 to e2? I've got to just try and counterplay on b2 here. So rook e7 to e2. So knight h6, rook e7 with the threat of rook e2. Right, so I'm using, okay, rook e2 threat still. Okay, there's rook e1, queen f7. I think I need another angle to his king here. Get these pawns going. a5, a4 for b3. Right, try and get some more attack here with a4. Right, got to avoid knight c4. If I took that, maybe that's worth it, because knight c4 is pretty dangerous. Okay. Maybe king b5 on queen d4. I've got b3 coming up. Is b3 worth it? Yeah. Rook a7, rook c4. Queen b4 for queen a4, maybe. Alright, threatening queen a2, finally a threat. Try and blast e-file down. Oh, I might be getting walked over. Yeah, ooh. This check's not doing anything. Hang on, there's a rook here. Ooh, quite exciting. Okay, I just want to say something about this. Once I had that dark square bishop, my counterplay had to exist on the dark squares. So I had to try and emphasize the dark squares after having the dark square bishop, basically, in a nutshell there. Okay, that's what I want to say. Jen Torrance. But yeah, the pawns, if more carefully played, were winning there. But I mean, I was trying for something on the king side, obviously. Again, this bishop c5, knight e5. I know this is like a trap. I'm going to have to do a video on this. It's like a trap. You just put the knights there. I think knight f6 is an important response here to avoid knight e5. Now it might be safe. I'm hoping to play this. keeping symmetrical, totally symmetrical for a moment. However, now I don't have to castle. Necessarily. It's going to be G5. There's a lockdown on D4 here. I'm not sure that's too bad. Like I've seen on the reverse, where white sometimes accepts bishop takes c4, you get a lock on squares here. So the double pawns, I'm marking out d4 here. So queen e7, what about knight d5? That could be a pain. How about knight d4 and c6 then? Knight d4 and c6 might be better. Just deprive that d5 square. Now queen d4 seems to win an exchange, or knight e3. Queen d4 for knight f2. On the other hand, knight d4 might even be stronger, because f takes queen h4. Okay, let's say bishop f7, king d8. I'd be threatening queen h2 if knight f3, knight f3, rook f3, queen h2, king moves, check, and then queen g2. I think knight d4 takes queen h4 is dangerous. That might be more dangerous than winning the exchange. Although winning the exchange might be more, some way, more clear cut. Okay, I'll go with this. Yeah, I think this is more clear cut without having to move my king. Just knight d4, bishop g4, and castle queenside. So I want to play. Hang on a sec. Knight d5 is probably worth a punt on c7. Rook g8, there's knight f6 check there. Rook g8 is possible here, threatening mate. Might be worth it. Okay, I assume this is worth playing. So he has shut down that bishop. Okay, nevertheless, g-file exists. This bishop f7, I'm just checking out for a moment. I don't think it's that dangerous. Okay, it's been tested. I'm still threatening mate. My king just goes to d8 here, on the checks. Now, what's the problem with that? Alright, can my king just go to d8? There's no queen h4 there. There's no queen g5. He would have to defend g2, which would give me maybe bishop d7. Alright, queen f4 for queen h4, queen g5. Or knight f6, queen g5. I think knight f6, queen g5, okay. Queen h4, I think queen g5. I'm hoping queen g5 here is possible. Just check this again. Okay, I'm hoping it's possible. So I'm hitting g2 again. So there's no time for queen f7. Knight takes, I take the queen, check, takes, that's fine. Now with the queens off, it's a bit of relief. Can I just play knight here? Now, can I not just take on g4 here before these pawns get dangerous? I'll stop this pawn before it gets too dangerous. Okay, I'm threatening mate with king d7 here. Okay, there's king e7 threatening mate now. Alright, thanks for the game, Jan. Okay. Right, King's Indian stuff, transposition. Or there's a distinctive bishop g4 system I could try, which I think the Wade defense is where you try and just get the bishop out of the pawn chain and then play the French defense with the bishop outside the pawn chain. After Bob Wade. Okay. Who once drew with Fischer? He was quite a major British player in various ways. Can I go and castle Queensland here because it's or not? Is it too dangerous? I think I'm too dangerous. I'm just going to do this. So let's see. Knight h4. Right. Let's just do this for a moment. So I'm hitting that knight as well. So knight takes, bishop takes f3. I'll take that knight. Just want to preserve this bishop for a moment. So knight f3, I suppose. Bishop f4, I'm going to take and then g5, surely. Oh, there's queen g3. And if I take the... No. Alright, I can threaten... Alright, let's put the king here. Maybe I'm threatening takes on g5 now, possibly. Is there... Okay, let's see. Do I have to move the bishop? That's strange leaving the knight there a little bit, so can I exploit that? f5... This looks more dynamic now for me, this change of pawn structure. Aggressive pawn chain. Still looking forward for queen f6 now, hitting the knight. Build up on the f-file plan seems logical. Although queen f6, queen d5. So it's a little bit tricky. Right, I'll try and protect this d5 then. Knight f5, queen f6. Okay, can I get the queens off here? Without dropping d5. I might be threatening g5 now. Okay, there's g5, knight g2. Probably worth playing anyway. I should have maybe considered doubling that, actually. I can double now. Now I can get a knight into f3, knight here. So knight e6. Okay, I'll lock down f3. Now knight g... Okay, I can stop knight f4 and threaten knight g5. Knight g5, knight f4, knight f3, king moves. It might be more effective to have a rook on h5 there. So rook f5, rook h5, knight g5. Oh, he's on d5 and g4. Oh, okay. I have to protect d5 again with c6 maybe. This slows a few things down. This h5, h4, is that anything? Alright, I'll go with this plan again. Rook h5, knight g5. Oh, there's knight f3, there's knight g4, knight f3. In the meantime, minority attack. How about c5 here? If it takes, then knight d3 after. c5 might be interesting, just to get a knight to d3 instead. Okay, I mean this pawn surely. Well, there's knight f3 after, and then it's got rook d2 and taking on d5. But hang on, can I not just take on b5 here? Just grab a pawn. Okay. That means d4 now. It's good. Surely. Okay, I've got this pawn here to push. I'm not convinced actually yet. Let's see what he does to this threat. Rook h2. Maybe d2 threatens d1. Yeah. Well, actually, for rook h2 is now threatened. Potentially. Okay. I hit this knight... Oh, hang on. This is getting a bit dangerous. I think. Okay, what am I doing stupid? This pawn is pretty dangerous. I don't want to lose because of this B pawn. Rook's behind pawns, terrace rule. Although this knight f6 is going to be mating. Knight e4, knight f6 is going to be nearly mating. Great. Knight d6, rook g7. Alright, this... I feel... Rooks, this is grovelly. I've lost the plot here. I've completely lost the plot. I think it's pre-move time. Can I take this guy? Yeah, okay, I well played. Yeah, it wasn't as good as I thought, my position. Okay, can I play this line? So the knight's fancy here, trying to hold the centre. Yeah. A3 and F5 looks like an idea, or F5 now for knight F4. It's softer. The light squares are softer here with that bishop coming off. Now takes in knight g5 looks very dangerous. Taking here and knight d5 looks dangerous. The f-file looks dangerous. This might have been a bit of a time waste just loosening the light squares. This, but in that particular scenario, it looks too dangerous to me, this position for black. Could be wrong. Red took on f7. It looks too, yeah, it looks too dangerous here. And there's queen g6 and there's knight d5. I'll start with queen g6. There's knight d5 and then there's bishop f4 potentially. Not into the queen. Yeah, sometimes it's good to get rid of that bishop. There's a lot of Petrosian games, but sometimes it's in that configuration. It seems it's weakening the structure a bit too much. Thanks for the game. Okay. Alright, so we have a Smith-Morra line. So I have looked this up once. And it's supposed to play, I think, knight e5 on e4. I remember checking out a game with Gavin Crawley in the London Classic in this line. Someone much lower rated beat one of my heroes, Gavin Crawley, who had this amazing chess for peace tournament once, but had to go to some job interview in one of the rounds and missed out on winning chess for peace. Chess for peace was a riot, though. It was an absolute riot. I think, it was like one of the most aggressive tournaments I've ever played in. And witnessed bad behaviour. It's probably not a good idea to call a tournament of chess for peace. You just get the exact opposite. So let's see. H3. So I've got this bishop pair, it seems, against the two knights. I can win either the B pawn or G pawn here, but both backfire on B2 or G2 here, I guess. There's no check there. Here, I could just keep the bishops, or bishop e2, or bishop e4, might be better, central. Okay, let's keep the bishops for a moment. Rather than trying to win either pawn. Funny position. I could have taken them to take that, or I could have taken to take that. Funny. Let's do battle though with these imbalances. There's an interesting imbalance here, the two bishops against the two knights. I am threatening, I think, takes and take now, non-controversially, or is it? Maybe. Okay. Rook e2 now. There's knight d4. Rook e3, there's knight c4. This is a pain. f4, is that too weakening? There's knight c4. On knight c4, there might be rook f2. This bishop is... Alright, let's try and do something about these knights. Knight d3, rook e2. If knight d4... Oh, these knights... Okay, knight c4, rook f2. f5 I can just take because the bishop's holding e1. Aha. Can I just double the rooks for a moment? Although knight c5 coming up. Knight c5 is a pain. What about b4? Trying to just stop these knights from being naughty. Naughty knights. Is actually rook e2 now possible to try and really just want to double the rooks? Oh, maybe damage structure on both sides of the board here. How is this rook and pawn ending? I think I'm going to have to swap out the bishops and knights for some structural thing. So that better pawn structure here. Swap. Maybe rook c4 holds that rank as well as preparing to double. So rook c8, rook c4. Does he go passive with the rooks or not? Rook e4. No, he's not going passive. I can take and then take on f6. He can just double though. So rook f3, rook d2 check. Alright, let's prepare for rook g3 check. If he wants to double rooks on the 7th. The 2 pigs on the 7th. I suspect I might be better here. I suspect. Let's just hold that pawn safe for a moment without a4 necessarily. Now how do I build some pressure here? Doubling, rook e4, rook c6, 2-1 pawn majority. He could double the rooks again at any time. If I take, he just doubles the rooks. Okay. Alright, forget that. Forget that. Unless rook c2. If I can get rid of one pair of rooks, that ending might be safer for my king. Okay, so let's imagine rook d2, rook g3 goes back. I have to think of another plan there. Right, here I don't want the rooks doubling. So rook c6 is sort of trap rook d2. This position, can I improve my king? Now, the beauty of this is it's like slot races with structure like this. The old slot races on Atari 100. It's like a maze of... Let's give me a pawn there. I'll take... I'll pawn here. Pawn here. Now, 2 connected pass pawns. I should be able to sacrifice my rook in a worst case scenario. Let's drag his king back so I can keep my a pawn for a little longer and try and get... Oh, intriguing. Two connected pass pawns coming up. Or not. Rook f3, rook h3, rook g3, takes g6, he's in time there. Just h5. He's going to try and mate me with king f3. Okay. Is that king e1? Okay, thanks there for the game. Okay, Cobra. Actually, I'm not sure about that ending if I've just blown it, though. Maybe he could get a draw there, I'm not sure. My king's just too passive, was too passive that just then, I think, for my liking. Well, it's kind of tempting to play e5. It's this idea of overstretching, though, and I'm going to pay for all my weaknesses. But it looks too much fun to avoid. Okay. Yeah. Bishop c4. So I'm playing d6 now. And if I try and castle queenside. So I want to castle queenside and say knight e4 and d6. This pin looks nice to try and celebrate. So castle, knight e4, d6. Fragment of the pawn structure in the e4 square. I think this is okay for me, potentially. So castling and knight e4. It could play something like b5. I could try and ignore that with bishop a2. I'm wondering if he's like winning a piece with rook f4 there. Intriguing. Okay. If he could take and then rook f4. Okay, maybe stuff is going on tactically here. Nevertheless, now the plan is knight e4 and d6 still. Yeah, my bishop seemed loose there on c4 and h4 after taking from rook f4. Okay, something to check out after at some point. Okay, now d6 here looks good. Right. Of course. There's a knight e4, bishop h4, knight h4, bishop d1, knight g6, hg, queen at h6. King g8 is mating. Hang on. That's mating knight g6 and queen h6 because it's diagonal. Let's go with that. So knight h4 for knight g6 for queen h6. He's kind of weakening his dark squares a bit. I guess king g7, maybe there's knight f8. What about queen h6 immediately for knight g6? Rook g8, maybe there's knight g5. Rook g7, knight g6. Okay, knight g6 or queen h6 here. Queen h6, there's queen h4. So I think knight g6 now. And let's imagine king g7, knight f8. And this is anything stronger here. There's 96 winning the queen here. That weakness of the last move. Not covering e6. Okay, thanks for the game, Cobra. Okay. Robin. Yeah, I'll play d4, I think. I think e5 is possible. Is it? Or knight g4. Maybe bishop d3 is safer. Okay, if I castle. One thing about this, if he took, then I think bishop g5 is more effective. That pin, if he took, does he put the bishop back to parry the pin here? It's usually very unwise to play moves like h6 and g5, usually, because it's weakening the king side. So I think putting the bishop back, on the other hand, it looks a promising position if he puts the bishop back. It's sort of saying that move wasn't great, bishop b4. Okay, let's see. Yeah, this makes the pin surely a little bit more effective. Now e5 almost was on the cards. I can stop bishop g4 for a moment. I think I will do that. I wonder if knight d4 is worth playing. Oh, he's going to play queen e5. He's going to unpin here at this rate. Okay, he's going to unpin at this rate. Let's imagine he's going to unpin. Yeah. It's possible I have to allow the unpinning. Yeah, queen e6. I was hoping maybe for a little bit more there. Here we go here. I'm wondering about if I get the chance, bishop f1 and f4, and then it's always a bit controversial to play for e5. That diagonal is always going to be, there's going to be a check. Not always, but f4, bishop f1, I have to be wary about e5 because I'm always weakening that diagonal here. I'll touch the f pawn. But in principle, I would like to blast through with f4 and e5 in principle. Maybe it's possible because there's always, maybe there's bishop f2. So f4 knight moves. Knight is hitting the bishop anyway immediately. Knight g6 might be quite nifty anyway. Knight g6 immediately. What about knight f5? Knight f5 here seems a good idea. Just try and deprive that e6 square for the queen. And then maybe f4. So if I took on f5, it's like, well, I don't think there's too much to think about there. But f4 would seem, I'm threatening f4 now. Okay, but f4, is that a big deal now? Knight d7 or knight c6, maybe g4. Is that too weakening? I've got the two bishops though, so when you've got the two bishops you can sometimes get away with more pawn moves. They're covering up the weaknesses behind them a bit. So there was this Nun against Tau book in Secrets of Grandmaster Chess which impressed me. Nun did this big pawn storm on the king side, and he wrote that because the bishop pair he could cover the weaknesses more easily. I think it's one of my better books actually, Secrets of Grandmaster Chess. John Nunn is to be recommended. He really takes care for how he does the books. Really scientific. But yeah, I think something like f4 and g4 might be justifiable here because of the bishop pair. I think I'll go with that. So there's bishop g2, and that's a mighty bishop on diagonal for a moment anyway. I've got to cover e4 as well. He could try and that e file, yeah, rook e8. But bishop g2 seems sensible. On the other hand, is that stereotypical? Because I'm wondering on f1 if it offers bishop c4 in some lines much quicker. If I just play for g5 straight off the bat, g6 and bishop c4. That's a little bit stereotypical, that move. Just to cover e4. I think bishop g2 now is more justified, though. Maybe the bishop can always go to d5 if that's the plan later. So I'll try and cover e4 as mentioned earlier now. I can put some pressure on the centre. And if he plays d5, he's weakening the dark squares a bit. There is queen b6 check here as well. There's bishop f2. There's g5. Maybe there's knight h5. Maybe it's sensible here to just play queen d1 and then g5. I think that's sensible because the queen might want to go to h5. Now bishop f2 here or not? Is he protecting d6? After now g5. Right. It seems as though c4 and f4 are issues. I can address both with queen d2. I think I'll do that for a moment. Build up on the centre file. Okay, it's 1 o'clock now here. Thanks for the game. I just want to emphasise, I think that's the end of the session now. I just want to emphasise if you want to challenge me next week, it's 15% off with the voucher code Kingscrusher. I hope you enjoyed today. 1 fun, 10 boring, and see you. I hope there's some good games there. I hope. But if you want to become a premium member, remember the voucher code Kingscrusher. So thanks for the games, and see you next week. Yeah. Okay. Cheers then. Thanks so much.